analysis program where we look at the top 5 leagues in Europe and the actions in the UEFA Champions League. So today we are going to be looking at the run-in to the Champions League positions in the English Premiership, as well as the other action in Spain, Italy, France, and Germany. Joining me on the show today, once again, is the one and only Peter Ose, a very experienced football analyst. So today we'll start with the English Premiership. Peter.
Yes, thank you, Kenny. The English Premiership. Yesterday, Brentford played Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest lost to Brentford in yesterday's game. They had an outstanding game, which they played yesterday. They lost the match to Brentford. From that game, they are dropping more points in the Premiership League, and they are really not doing very well currently in the Premiership League table. Then today we have Manchester City. They'll be playing at home to Wolves. Who do you think will win that game? Manchester City against Wolverhampton.
In the past 7 games, Wolves have been on, they won 6 games out of 7 in their past games. So they are in very confident form at the moment. Manchester City, on the other hand, seem to have overcome their early season woes. And I think they have started to put together a run of impressive form. So, and playing at home, I believe that Manchester City, because they are looking for that Champions League spot, they are going to take the victory without a doubt.
Yes, I go with you. Manchester City straight win against Wolves. Then we have other games coming up tomorrow. We have Aston Villa against Fulham, Everton against Ipswich Town, Leicester City against Southampton, Arsenal against Bournemouth. The Aston Villa Fulham game, what do you think about that match? Aston Villa, they've not been doing well
of late. Aston Villa, if a couple of weeks ago, Aston Villa were in the running for the FA Cup, the Champions League, as well as the top 4. They were battling on 3 fronts, but unfortunately, they lost to PSG.
they are still gunning for the top 4. Far
So
from
they lost
not too
out in
far
the Champions League and the FA Cup.
position.
So the only
Yes.
hope they have in this season is to get that qualification for next season's Champions League. So I think prior to this loss of form, they've put together a run of victories in the EPL from January before they were pegged back by their loss of form. So I think against Fulham have nothing much to play for in the season other than to maybe squeeze a place in the Conference League. But I think Aston Villa playing at home at the Villa Park is going to come up with that performance that we see them through to a straight against Fulham. That's what I think is going to happen tomorrow.
Aston Villa straight win against Fulham.
Yeah.
Aston Villa,
hopefully.
Yes. Have Everton against already relegated Ipswich Town.
Ipswich, yeah. Tractor Boys going to play the Toffees. So it's a match that we have 2 teams that are not, they have nothing much to play for. Ipswich are already relegated, while have secured a place in next season's Premiership. So we have 2 teams that are just going to play for formality. So anything can happen. You will see 2 teams coming out with academy players to give the youth team guys a little experience of Premiership actions. Maybe.
I want to differ with you. I think that team, they have improved. If you have watched all their games since he came in, they've been doing very well. So I believe that Everton, they will brush Ipswich aside tomorrow.
Of course, I have no doubt about that. But if you look at their recent games, I think they've not won more than a game in the last 10 games. Their form has gone down for some unknown reasons. They've not been able to win games, even though they've been drawing games. They've not been winning games. So their form is at best. So tomorrow, anything can happen. Maybe you will give to some players just to let them have a feel of what it takes to play in the Premiership.
Then we have Leicester City against Southampton. So
They
this is more
are
like
out
an
of the Premiership.
academic game.
Yeah, an academic encounter. So another game where you expect to see youth team players. Tomorrow, and Leicester is going to miss a number of players injury. So tomorrow we'll see and playing some fringe players. just to fulfill all righteousness.
We have Arsenal against
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
This is an encounter where
Bournemouth are currently
Bournemouth,
informed. They are informed.
yeah, they are informed. They have an eye on European qualification. Anthony Iraola has done a great job managing these young players of Bournemouth. And don't forget that Arsenal are still in with a fighting chance in the Champions League. So I'm sure Mikel Arteta will have an eye on the return leg at Paris Saint-Germain. So I'm sure that is going to be a factor in tomorrow's game with Bournemouth. I'm sure Arsenal are going to maybe rest one or two players just to make sure they are fresh for that encounter in Paris. But all in all, I still think Arsenal will have all it takes to win their home game tomorrow against Bournemouth.
Then we also have on Sunday, we have Brentford coming up against Manchester United. Brentford will be playing at home against the rejuvenated Manchester United. Manchester United
United.
yesterday won their game against Athletic Club.
Yeah.
They won
It was
their Europa game against Athletic Club yesterday, and they defeated Athletic Club by 3-0. And it was an away game. Manchester
yeah.
United, they are in form currently, so they'll be playing against Brentford. They defeated Nottingham Forest yesterday, so they're also in form. So, what's your take on this game?
Manchester
Brentford are
United traveled
they are
to
fighting for a space in European.
competition. So Manchester United went to St. Mamés yesterday and they got a 3-0 victory. A well-deserved 3-0 victory. And don't forget, St. Mamés is also the venue of this season's Europa League final. So Manchester
Oh,
United have one leg in that final. And I'm sure they are going to do that job at Old Trafford in the next second leg of the encounter. So traveling to Brentford tomorrow, Manchester United have that luxury of fielding their first team because with qualifications secured for the final of the Europa. So maybe tomorrow Manchester will see a strong Manchester United team. But I think that game is going to end in a draw. I think that game will
okay.
end.
Then Brighton against Newcastle United. Brighton, they are fighting for a spot in the Europa competition. So it's going to be a very tough game. So what's your take on Brighton, Newcastle United?
We'll be playing at home tomorrow on Sunday, right? Against Newcastle is looking for a spot in the Champions League, and they are in the form of their lives at the moment. They've been winning their games. On the other hand, Brighton have not been winning of recent, although they altered that over last weekend when Baleba secured 3 points for them. So on Sunday, this is one of the games that will display the unpredictability of the English Premiership. I will not lie to you if I say I know who is going to win this game for sure. This is one of the most unpredictable. We have two attacking teams almost at par, but I think may just nick it just by a very slim
But
victory.
sometimes Newcastle, they can be very inconsistent.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them to just win by a slim one.
Imagine.
Yes,
Then we have West Ham against Tottenham.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur, they call them Spursy. They've lost about 16 games this season.
But they won their
In the
Europa game
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, their priority at the end of this season is to win the Europa League. So on Sunday, I think they are going to field their second team. They are not going to play their first team. They want to qualify and win the Europa League. So I think on Sunday they are going to field a second team, and that might just give West Ham the victory. It's a London derby. Probably I'm rooting for West Ham.
It's a London
Either they
derby,
play,
yes.
but I'm not. I don't see West Ham losing that game because Graham
Yeah,
Potter is
same
fighting
here.
for his job in a draw.
Then the next game is Chelsea against
Liverpool.
Liverpool, the crowned champion of the English Premier League.
Liverpool, they won the season. I think this is the earliest we have seen a team win the English Premier League not in recent times. In recent time, Liverpool always slug it out.
Yes, in recent times, Liverpool, they always slug it out with Manchester City and Arsenal.
Team with people, the Elliott, like Kwanzaa and so, playing against Chelsea, who are still looking out for a place in the Champions League next season. I think it's going to be a draw game. If going by my estimation, it's going to be a draw game. Chelsea in the last few games have not been fluid. That fluidity is not been there. But maybe with Slavia coming back from injury, maybe we'll see a better Chelsea squad tomorrow, on Sunday rather. What do you think?
I think Chelsea may likely come up with a win in that game. Chelsea, they are fighting for their lives to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Any slip up will give
Allow
Aston Villa
Aston
and
Villa and the
Nottingham
lights.
Forest, yes, to dethrone them
Yeah,
from the fifth spot. So they will want to defeat Liverpool so that they can keep up their fifth position. If not, Aston Villa or Nottingham Forest will take over from them. And you know that after tomorrow's game, we're going to have about 3 games left to play.
exactly. Round of
Yes,
game.
yes, and it's quite dangerous, dropping points at this
Yes.
stage of the league.
Six
Yes,
games.
Italian Serie A. We have
Yeah,
stiff
between
competition
Napoli,
in Italian Serie
Napoli
A.
and
Napoli and Inter Milan. Let me bring out the teams that are playing tomorrow.
Napoli is a way to Lecce.
Napoli will beat them. Straight win for Napoli.
A way to
I
Lecce.
believe
Then
Napoli.
into Verona.
The Inter will beat Verona because
But I think into the last, this Napoli have the easier running. All their
that is
teams are in the bottom 10. All the teams they are playing are in the bottom 10 of the table.
yes, yes. That was why I said that time that more or less like Napoli, they have won the league. If they keep current form,
But
that is
funny
if they
enough,
don't slip up.
they've not been winning convincingly.
No, they've not. They've been grinding out wins. There's
Yeah,
nothing convincing about their winnings. Most times, you watch their games. It is even towards the ending of the game. McTominay just come out from nowhere, just score, and that is the end of the game. They've been
yeah,
winning games, even difficult games. Then on Saturday, the main games, yes,
yeah.
Lace Napoli. Yes, like you said, they are playing at home. Then we have Inter versus Verona. I believe Inter will win
Yes,
that game.
Inter should win that game.
Win
Inter should, of their second leg with Mbaka. Inter should
the
win that game.
they want to rest some players.
Yeah,
They want to rest 1 or 2 players, but I still believe Inter will win tomorrow's game against Verona. Then we have Parma
yeah.
against Como. Como is a small team that is being coached by
It's Fabregas.
Fabregas. He's doing a wonderful job with Como.
He's doing well. Well,
Yes.
Parma too, they've been easy to defeat. But Como, maybe to see even encounter, maybe. And I think Fabregas is going to be coach of AC Milan from next season, from what
Oh,
media
has he
speculation
been
is saying.
appointed?
No, the speculation has been intense that he's going to coach because Conceição is leaving by the end of the season at AC Milan.
Okay,
So
he's a
maybe
good coach.
Fabregas.
We have Napoli. Napoli currently they are topping league table with 74. Inter, Atlanta 65, Juventus 62, Bologna 61, AS Roma 6, Lazio 6, Florentina 59. We have four
For the
teams.
Champions League places.
We have 4 teams that are we have
Almost separated by 1 point.
no, the
Or 2.
Italian. No, I'm talking about the space for the Champions League that was allocated to
Team.
Italian teams is just for
Yeah.
space for the Champions League spots. But right now, you have about 1, 2, 3. You have about 9 teams struggling for that position with 4 games to go. 9
Intense.
teams, highly intense. You have Juventus, Atlanta, Juventus,
Bologna,
AS
Fiorentina.
Roma, and AC Milan.
Incredible.
There is a stiff battle going on here.
One of
there's
the
a stiff
toughest
battle.
in Europe at the moment.
One of the toughest. One of the best Roma. Nobody gave them a chance at the beginning of the season. They were at the bottom at the start of the season, even towards the middle of the season. On Claudio Ranieri was appointed. They are sitting comfortably at the 6th position in the Italian Serie A with 60 points. They've played 20 games. They have not lost any. So it's a stiff battle going on in the Italian and Serie A. So who do you think may likely snatch the Champions League spots? We have Bologna, AS Roma, Lazio, Fiorentina, and AC Milan. We
I
can
think
comfortably
apart
say
from
that,
first two,
yes, those ones
apart
we
from
can say that mathematically they have qualified. Inter and
I think from Napoli
Napoli.
and Inter,
Yes.
apart from Napoli and I think Atalanta and Juventus are going to join for the Champions League position.
It's not just a straight jacket because
I
Bologna,
know.
they are doing very well currently in the Italian Serie A. And Bologna is just 1 point separating Juventus from Bologna. Just 1 point. 1 point. Same with Roma. AS Roma are both on 60 points. Juventus is on 62 points. Bologna is on 61 points. Florentina is on 59 points. And maybe the only team I can comfortably say that they are out mathematically from the qualification for the Champions League spot is AC Milan because they are here with 54 points.
I think Atalanta will join Napoli as well as Juventus. Going by some recent, Bologna have been in form, no doubt about that, as well as Fiorentina. They've been in form. But maybe Juventus, with their experience and their cutting edge, might just cop that fourth position. That's
We
my
know that
prediction.
Atlanta, they have not been consistent in recent times.
Sure.
Then take a look at the German Bundesliga.
German league.
And,
Tomorrow, Bayern can avoid
Bayern,
defeat
Bayern
tomorrow.
Leverkusen.
Bayern can have a chance to win the league tomorrow. If they can beat RB Leipzig at home, they have a chance to win the league tomorrow. Give Harry
Leipzig is a
Kane his
very
first,
strong team.
very strong. Yeah, they are in the race with Champions League. So Bayern is not
It's
going
not
to
good.
have it easy tomorrow.
Yeah. So in the Bundesliga, you have Bayern Leverkusen, Frankfurt, Freiburg, Leipzig, Dortmund struggling to qualify for the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah.
For Dortmund, they may likely not qualify.
It's a big for them to, but they've been showing good form in recent games. Maybe. But Freiburg too is running.
They are in the running.
They are hosting
They are above.
Leverkusen
They are
tomorrow.
above
If I'm not,
Dortmund. Who do you qualify for the Champions League in the German
I
Bundesliga?
think Leverkusen will qualify.
Yeah, they have qualified mathematically, struggling for the title,
Mm.
not
And I also think
Champions League spot.
Dortmund and Eintracht might be
Okay.
the fourth team to go through.
No, I don't think Dortmund will qualify. Dortmund will not qualify for the Champions League
Okay.
for next season. They will not qualify. They will have
We'll
about
see at the
how
end of the
many teams
season.
ahead of them? Okay, they have Freiburg.
I think they're in sixth position.
They have Freiburg and Leipzig ahead of them. We'll see how it goes. Then we'll look at the
It will
Spanish
shock
league
you.
where Barcelona and Real Madrid they are having a dig down affair
Barcelona.
in the Spanish league.
Barcelona
Barcelona
travels to Valladolid.
in a must-win game,
Must win.
and Real Madrid they are
They are
playing against
hosting Celta Vigo.
Celta Vigo.
Under fire Carlo Ancelotti, who is going to rally his troops and make sure that they collect the 3 points tomorrow.
Barcelona they have to win tomorrow's game.
They have to win. No doubt. Barcelona is going to win their
Okay.
game.
In the French league,
The French
all is done and dusted in the French league, apart
in the
from
French
just the
league.
Champions League sport. Yes,
Yeah.
PSG they have dominated
They have
everyone
won the
in
league.
that.
They have
Yeah.
wrapped up the league a long time ago.
They are consistent and they are playing good football.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at those teams that are hustling for the Champions League spots in the French league. Okay, we have Marseille, AS Monaco, Lyon,
Strasbourg.
and Strasbourg. From Strasbourg to Marseille, the point between them is not that much. It's just 4 points.
Wow.
Any one of these teams can still qualify for the UEFA Champions League.
If you snooze, you lose.
Yeah, they still have like 5 games to go. Yeah, I think Strasbourg, oh my God, Strasbourg will be taking on Paris Saint-Germain, and I don't think they stand a
Lille is
chance
hosting
in that game.
Marseille.
It's
And
going to be
then
a
we have
difficult match for
Lyon.
Marseille. Lyon against.
It's going to be difficult. Lyon hosts
Yeah.
Lens, RC Lens on
Then
Sunday.
you have Saint Etienne versus AS Monaco.
That's on Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday. So Monaco too,
And
they
then
are having a
Strasbourg.
difficult game, and it's an away game.
Saint Etienne
Yeah.
is in the relegation zone. So They shouldn't prove
There's something about the French league. Teams in the relegation zone, they can defeat teams that are up there on the league table. That's one thing about the
sure.
French league.
Mm,
So they don't really have a big team apart from Marseille, PSG, and Lyon, the bigger teams in the French league. Other teams, they are more like equal most of the time. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in to our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like, and share our posts. Thank you and goodbye.